Hi everyone, hope you're all ready for another lovely recipe. Today I'm making my favourite tart at this time of the year. It's rhubarb and strawberry. They go really well together. Rhubarb is in season now and it's absolutely beautiful at this time of the year. Lots of juice comes out of it when you make a nice tart, and that's what I love about this tart. This tart has got a beautiful pastry in it. There's some butter in there, lots of butter, and some lard, which gives it a lovely, crispy, crumbly texture. It's a beautiful recipe and I hope you're all going to enjoy it. I'm going to make it in the food processor today, but you can make the pastry by hand, and I'll include some instructions in the recipe if you want to do that either. So the first thing I'm going to do is get some plain flour into my food processor. Now for my butter and lard. I'm going to get my butter in first and a little bit of lard. This is the lard I use, it's Fritex. There's another lovely one called Crisp and Dry. It's really good as well if you want to try that one either. Super Value do one of their own, and so do Tesco. Going to get some sugar in here too. Get the lid on and we're just going to turn it on and bring it to a nice crumb. Just scrape down the sides. That's perfect. So into here I'm going to put in the yolk of 1 egg. Got a little bit of milk and some water. Looking good. Just going to remove it from the food processor. Get it out onto my table. Get a little bit of flour and put it on your worktop. I'm going to knead this now for just to bring it together really. You can see how nice that pastry is. It's not too wet, it's not too dry. It's absolutely perfect. I'm going to get this into some cling wrap now. And pastry is best if you rest it in the fridge for at least half an hour before you roll it out. So I'm going to get this into the fridge now for half an hour. Alright, I'm ready to roll out the pastry now, so when you take it out of the fridge, just knead it a little, just to make it a little bit softer and easier to roll. Okay, I'm going to cut this in half now. Now I need the pastry big enough for my 8-inch tin, so I want it to come up along the sides as well. Get yourself a rolling pin and roll it out. You may need to add some extra flour. Find the extra flour helps just to roll it out because there's a lot of butter in this pastry. Just get your tin and that's perfect. Get that on top of there. This is the type of pastry which may break. If it does, just patch it up with a little bit of extra pastry. I'm going to cut a little bit of this off, not at all, because I want it for tucking in the top lid. Just going to put a little bit of extra there. And that's my tin covered in my pastry. Alright, so into here I'm going to add in some rhubarb. I like to add lots of rhubarb. I like it to come up a little bit higher than the tin. I've got about 500 grams here. May not use it all. And I've got some strawberries. As I said, strawberry and rhubarb go so well together. So I'm just adding about 5 or 6 strawberries. Some of the big ones I've cut in half. I like to add some flour on top of my rhubarb just to soak up the juice, because the rhubarb is very juicy at this time of the year. So I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of flour. You can use corn flour either, it just helps thicken the juices. I love the juices, I have to say. And now for some sugar. I've got about 100 grams of sugar here. Seems like a lot, but it does need it. And that's it. I'm going to set this to one side. Get my other pastry. I'm just going to bring this together. And the lid of the tart, we want it a little bit thicker than the bottom. I'm going to roll this out now. I'm going to measure this now. That looks good. I'll get my pastry onto my rolling pin. And I'm going to put that on top like that. Trim a little bit from the sides. I'm going to get myself a fork now, and I just crimp this together like that. Little hole there, so what I do is I put a little bit of extra pastry there. It's got a nice rustic look, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I just go around with my fingers and just push that together. Like that. Looks lovely. And there it is. Put a few pricks on the top to let the steam out. This is ready for the fridge now. If you wanted to put it into the fridge overnight and cook it fresh the next day. I'm going to put it straight into the oven. And before I put it in the oven, I'm going to brush it with a little bit of milk. Alright, that's great. And to finish off, I'm going to sprinkle over some sugar. It gives it a nice finish. Nearly forgot, I have a few pastry decorations for the top. It's optional if you want to add them or not. Brush them over with a little milk and add a sprinkle of sugar to them. And there it is, ready for the oven, and it's going to go into the oven for 45 minutes. Here it is, everyone, fully baked. It's turned out wonderful, lovely colour, looks really well. And look at that, we've got some of the juice from the rhubarb and strawberry there along the side. That's my favourite part, I have to say. When we were kids, we always fought over the piece with the juice from the rhubarb. Absolutely gorgeous, I'm thrilled with it. Okay, all that's left to be done now is to cut a nice big slice. Just look at that, golden pastry, bubbling fruit, and that gorgeous pop of colour from the rhubarb and strawberries. It smells amazing. You can already see how juicy it is inside. That filling looks gorgeous, just how I like it. All that's left to be done now is to add a generous dollop of freshly whipped cream. Gorgeous. That's so fresh and fruity. The tang of the rhubarb and the sweetness of the strawberries work so well together. Hope you enjoy the recipe. Give it a go and let me know what you think. Happy baking, everyone. Enjoy.
Scrummy.